haven't posted for a few days, and well, something struck at me today, and now my one of my family members is out of U.S. right now, um, and we were talking about something today, that's very very serious, and again, I'm gonna let you guys know right now. This is my personal opinion. This has nothing to do with who I am, what I support, what I don't support. And I know a lot of you are gonna get mad at me for this, but I'm not gonna apologize because this is a personal opinion, and this is a serious matter. Okay. We are gonna get a little political, right now because I feel like it's the time that we need to be very political, and just I don't know, man. I mean, I've been thinking about it for the past few months, ever since Trump has become, president of the United States, and we're going to touch on that subject a little bit later. But for right now, my main thing with everyone saying, Trump's this, Trump's that, Trump's this, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't have a particular party that I'm set with. I really don't give a shit. I just want America to be America again. And yes, I am from the South. Yes, I do own guns. Yes, I do know people who support Trump. Yes, I do know a lot of people who hate specific races. And that sucks. It really does. And over here on the left, we have people who are like, oh, well, we need to get the right to... Hold on, because this music's kind of pissing me off. We have... sorry about that. We have the left saying, oh, well, we need to make sure all the guns are taken away, but only because we want our kids safe. Okay? Well, here's the problem with that. And I'm going to tell you the problem and why this is an actual problem and an actual scenario that plays out on a daily basis. Okay, I carry a buck knife, a buck 110C. All right, it's a log back. It's just a regular old pocket knife. It is one of the biggest knives that I own. All right, that I carry all the time. It's sharp and it can cut through bone. Okay. Now, remember this knife. Alright? So, what I'm trying to say, guys, is that no matter what the outcome, no matter if the L takes guns away, if they don't, people are still going to find a way to harm people if they really want to. Okay? People don't understand that we're gifted with 4 or 5 different weapons, and one of them's the most deadliest weapon known to man, and that's the brain. That's the human mind. And people don't understand that. There's a mentality that you have to be willing to take someone's life if they're not trying to hurt you, if you're not fighting for your country. Now, that mindset can come through from trauma as a young child. And a lot of people don't understand that. They're like, oh, well, we need to blame video games, we need to blame music, we need to blame this, we need to blame that. The music's not the problem, the games aren't the problem, the movies, the TV, that's not the problem. It's the problem with society and how people judge, okay? Now, I found this out earlier yesterday, or today, however you want to put it, because currently I believe it's 3, let me check. We did church, yep, Monday, July 9th, 3:32 a.m. Now, we went to church, alright? We go to church every Sunday. We can get our little get-together going. We cook out, we eat, and etc. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, I had the most wonderful experience being back from where I was. Because a lot of good times there, I had a lot of bad times there, and the good outweighed the bad. You know, this is coming from a kid who was a drug addict almost 2 years ago, who's tried to kill himself 3 times, and for some reason hasn't succeeded. And that's a good thing, because if I would have succeeded in that moment of time to where I killed myself, I wouldn't have only hurt me, but I would have hurt my family, I would have hurt my loved ones. And that's where you start thinking, okay, what do I need to do with my life? And you finally figure it out, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to do this. You wind up doing it, and it's the perfect thing for you. You know, and I had this urge last night to want to cry. You know, because I look at all these young kids that are, you know, roaming around, and they're just, you know, they're baffled by a lot of things, and we're sitting here, you know, like, oh, guns are this or guns are that, and we're not watching the time that's passing by in front of our eyes. Everyone's so worried about politics and who should be president. I don't care who becomes president, as long as they don't fuck us over. They fuck us over, we're done as a country. We're done. The South will divide from the North, and you will have to have a passport to travel, like just to cross a border while driving. That's how bad this country's gotten. It's how deep in the shit we are. And I hate cussing right now because, you know, yesterday was Sunday, and I'm trying to keep that streak of not cussing. And boy, is it hard. Let me tell you, man, it's hard. You know, I want to touch on a subject that's not too far, you know, that a lot of people don't understand when I say America's gone. America's gone because of this, alright? I'll give you an example. So, there were 3 young teens in Ohio or Iowa or somewhere around there, or Idaho, somewhere, started with an I, and they wore patriotic gear. And what patriotic gear is United States flag or any flag, period. But it's a, you know, an American flag, American shorts. They had the American flag on their socks. They had American flag shoes. They colored their hair red, white, and blue and put stars on their head. Okay? This was for a basketball game, so they could make people feel welcome and happy that they live in the United States of America. Now, here's the twist, alright? So there's this immigration family, this family who is full of immigrants. Now, I have nothing wrong with legal. Key word there. You know, when you do something bad, it's illegal. Well, these people were here, I guess, legally. I'm not too sure. I know they were immigrants. And I have nothing wrong with that. But we're going to touch on why I don't have a problem with that here in a minute. So, these young men had to publicly apologize and had to be escorted off the premises because it made the family feel bad, I guess. It made them feel like they had just been assaulted. And here's the thing. You're going to come over to our country when you wanted to get away from yours, right? If you're here legally, you have all the rights and privileges that we do. The people who are good, the people that don't do anything wrong, that are law-abiding citizens. Here's the kicker, right? These young men were expelled from school and were suspended after that because they voiced an opinion. To me, that's a really shitty fucking move on anybody's part, because some kids wanted to be patriotic and you're having your feelings hurt because of a flag. If you don't like it, get out. Stay away from my country. I haven't fought in a war. I have friends that are dying overseas. Okay? I have friends that have died overseas fighting a battle that we know is not going to end anything. It's as simple as that. We're going to have more casualties day after day because no one gets it. No one understands it. No one processes it correctly. No one processes anything anymore. Everyone goes off of emotion. And it pisses me off to say this, but you know what? For once, I'm going to go off of emotion. If you're going to sit there and you're going to come to this country, you're going to represent the United States of America. If that means putting a flag on your back, the United States flag, so be it. There are men, women, and children going over there and fighting for your sorry asses, and you have no idea what they're sacrificing. I don't. Yes, I have friends. You know what? Here, let me tell you what they left behind. Their family. At 18 years old, I had a buddy recently come back that I can't go and see his family. You want to know why? I don't have the cash to go and do that. He lives 3 states away. Yeah, I can go up to Oklahoma, but I can't make it all the way there. I'm afraid to fly. I can't drive it. That's a lot of gas. Not only that, but how am I going to drive there? You know? It breaks my heart to say this, but here we go again with me telling you guys this, and I'm sorry, but if you feel threatened by this, then you shouldn't be watching it. This is not a threat towards anybody. This is just me voicing my opinion. And if you don't think I have the right of freedom of speech, then obviously you don't know the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, you know, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, being able to voice your own opinion, yeah, that kind of stuff. Now, back to why, okay, so now that that little talk is done, I feel like, well, it's not done yet, let me just put it that way. I don't feel like those kids were justified because, and here's the reason why. They didn't do anything wrong, okay? They were representing where they come from, their country. That's just like someone from Canada representing the Canadian flag. What's wrong with that? Oh no, if you're a white male that, you know, owns guns, drinks beer, and you got a southern accent, oh, you're a fucking racist, are you? People, wake up. When you bring race into anything, you automatically are deemed as a racist, right? So, for example, you know, this is an example, by the way, okay? Take this as an example because this is an example, alright? This is a stereotype that everyone brings up every time I do one of these. You know, okay, well, and this is what I actually heard today. Because I was talking to this young kid. He was like, so you're meaning to tell me you can't say the N-word because you're white, but other people could say the N-word because they're a different skin tone, correct? Yes, that is correct. And here's my complete my whole thought on that. I don't see color. I see people for who they are. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to call you the N-word because you're black, or I'm not going to call you a beaner because you're brown, or a ramen noodle eating monkey because you're Asian. It's not how it works with me. This was installed in me when I was a very young boy, about the age of 3, I believe. My mom taught me not to see a person for their skin tone, but for their work ethic, and how they treat others. You treat people like shit, oh, you're a piece of shit. You act like you're big and bad, oh, you're a wannabe. That's how it goes. You want to threaten somebody? Well, then you need to pick on someone your own size, buddy boy, because there's going to be someone bigger and badder out there, and there always is. And quite frankly, they set you straight. Either that or your ego gets a hold of you again, and then there's nothing left. You know, I had a rude awakening call. I want to say about 4 years ago. So I'm sitting at my buddy's house, and we're talking. We're fucking around with each other, and this dude that I didn't know at the time comes in. He's one of my buddy's best friends, and he's like, "What is this pussy ass bitch doing here?" Huh? Excuse me, do I know you? No? Okay, good, let's keep it that way, and don't call me a pussy ass bitch anymore, okay? Until you get to know me and who I am, don't do that. He's like, what are you gonna do about it, bitch? What am I gonna do about it? That's a really good question. What do you think I'm gonna do about it, guys? Buddy's like, Devin, you don't need to do this. I'm like, alright, cool. He just needs to leave me the fuck alone. I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to have a good time. I don't want any, crap to start. Dude keeps prodding and prodding and prodding and prodding. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? You're that immature. You can't leave good enough alone, can you? He's like, no, because I know how you are. I know what kind of person you are. I'm like, okay, yeah, what kind of person am I? Go ahead, shoot. Everyone in this room knows who I am, what I do, how I act. So please, enlighten everybody in this room. He goes, you're a scumbag. You pry and prey off of women in the weak. Quite the opposite. I help women and the weak. I help them so their voices can be heard. I do not muffle down their voices. I do not turn down the volume of their voices. I said, that's who you are. You literally just described yourself. He goes, oh yeah, and how is that? And I'm like, well, for instance, you can't even read me, for one. 2, you said you knew who I was, what I do, who I am, what I act like, and number 3, you're just a scumbag piece of shit that wasn't invited. Because I had my buddy's phone, because I had to use it, and apparently you said that he texted you around this time. Well, I was on the phone at that time. So, how did you know we were all hanging out again? And it turns out, dude was high, off meth. No bullshit. Turns out he's high. Policeman rolls around the corner, because we actually have police here. Alright, where I live, this complex is filled with cops. No bullshit. And policeman walks by, and he smells it off of him, because when you smoke or when you do it, it lets off an odor, and it's a really nasty odor. And dude's like, oh, you okay, sir? Yeah, what the fuck do you want? And he starts twitching, and he starts geeking, and officer puts him in handcuffs, and dude literally had a fucking pipe on him that he had just smoked out of. Okay, well, not a pipe, a bulb. And he's like, dude, that's not mine, I swear, it's not mine. And they come to us and like, is this one of y'all's? Did y'all plant it on him? No, he just busted in here. We're sitting here having a good time watching TV, talking. What else? Like, do you see any evidence? I mean, you can go look in the trash, you can test us, it don't matter. Personally, I didn't do shit. I haven't moved here ever since I got up to throw him out. Or try to, at least. And, he's like, okay, well, y'all guys have a good time. So we get done dealing with the cop, and another bunch of crap just like explodes out of nowhere. Like, not literally an explosion, but like figuratively, shit goes down. So we're sitting outside now. My buddy's like, hey man, you want this truck? I know you need a truck to get back and forth. Do you want it? As an early birthday present. I was like, hell yeah. Beat up old Ford. 5-speed. Transmission's going out, but I can fix that. sure. He's like, okay. Well, we start getting shot at, not with actual guns, but with metal BBs. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck is shooting at us, dude? And he's like, I don't know. Call the cops. I'm like, alright. So I call 911, and someone, I don't know who it was, still haven't found out who it was, but someone actually shot the cop car with a pellet gun, or BB gun, however you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. And cops like, alright, y'all need to get inside, y'all need to lock the doors, y'all need to stay here until we come back. So they go and look, they, figure out what the hell was happening, and lo and behold, they can't find the dude. And we're sitting here like, what? And, I mean, like, this is not bullshit at all. I know I got off subject, and I'm about to get back on subject again. I just wanted to tell you all this little story. Well, not very little, but you get what I'm saying. So, 3 months later, my buddy ups and sells the truck underneath me because he needs diesel for the other truck that he has now. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? That was my truck. You didn't ask me if I wanted it, to sell, or if I wanted to keep it so I could, go where I needed to go. And he's like, oh man, I'm sorry, but I need diesel, and I need, hay, and I need all this shit for my horse, and so I can get back and forth. I'm like, alright, whatever, dude. Just fucking whatever. So, fast forward to now. So we were talking about the immigration thing, and how I don't see color because I only see people. And I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. The only thing that bothers me about people, especially immigrants, and I'm saying this because it's true, alright? So, look at China's population. They're overpopulated, right? They literally live in a shoebox compared to how we live, right? Well, with all these illegals coming in, they're buying up all the properties, they're like, they're stealing a lot more jobs than there are. So, with that comes me, who right now is currently unemployed, who can't really get a good paying job until I'm 21. And by the time that happens, I'm already out of college. I'm already doing what I need to do. I'm getting another degree, and I'm moving on with my life. My grandfather, I'll tell you this, my grandfather has worked out in the oil fields through good and bad times. He's worked on water wells for farmers for the irrigations. So he's worked out in the sun pretty much all his life, and he barely my grandmother and my grandfather always had to help me and my mom out because taking care of 2 kids brings a lot of gas and it takes its toll, like it's I remember one point in time, this was way back when, we were having trouble, finding out what to eat, because we didn't have that much in our fridge, and it wasn't anyone's fault. My mom's busted her ass trying to find jobs, getting jobs, and then something happens, and she has to take a leave of absence, and which then, therefore, they fire her because she's not back within amount of days, weeks, or hours. And this recently did happen. My brother has sleep apnea. And for you people that don't know, what sleep apnea is you quit breathing at night, and your brain doesn't get enough oxygen, so theoretically you're kind of dying at night. And Well, his stuff started kicking back up, and it was to the point where we would have to go and stay in another town next over so he could get the appointments done so they could do what they needed to do. And it was just a bunch of crap that we had to deal with, and they let my mom go because of what had happened. Now, I understand, jobs, they can't wait on people to get their life back on track, but, you know, they still shouldn't have fired my mom, in my opinion, because we were going really good. We were going really steady. My mom was happy where she was at. She's working her ass off. We're busting our asses here at home and getting shit done. Now, for a lot of people, that sounds like I'm a lazy ass, arrogant 18-year-old who's still living with his mom. No, the college is literally down the street. Alright? We do not have the cash for me to buy my own apartment, get my own car, or, live in a dorm. And that really sucks because, we're barely scraping by here, but at the same time, you see all these illegals. Now, these are actual illegals, okay? To where their work visa has expired, they didn't go back, and they've stayed here illegally. Alright? They've bought a bunch of these cars, like 2015 GMC's Sierras, and they've lifted them. They put the tiny, skinny ass tires on them with these deep dish fucking rims, and they have Chihuahua on the back. I understand you want to represent where you're from, but if you're here illegally, bro, I wouldn't be doing that. Just me. Be smart about it. And I don't condone people coming over here illegally. I want people to understand this. If I want you to become a U.S., I want everyone to experience the freedom and the privileges that us Americans have. But, key word, but, I want you to do it legal. The legal way. Take the test, become a U.S. citizen, and I will grant you with open arms, okay? I will hug you and say I am proud to call you an American, okay? You're not African American, you're not a Mexican American, you're not an Asian American, you are an American, alright? You earned it. But for everyone here that's here illegally, those are the people that Trump is trying to stop from getting back over here, right? People are like, oh no, fuck Trump, da da da. I'm just gonna come out here and say, guys, he's your fucking president, alright? If you don't like it, get the fuck out. Make more room. But for the people that do support Trump, it's not only rich white people, it's broke ass white people, it's broke ass black people, it's rich ass white people, there's rich ass Asian people, broke ass Asian people, the list goes on and on. It's not just us whites that support Trump. There are a lot of people besides whites that have supported Trump. Trump has literally given us more job opportunities and is actually trying to fix our economy right now. Our economy is shit, okay? This year, the US dollar, the $1 bill, was supposed to be absolutely nothing but paper. They were literally gonna quit making them. And here's why. How much everyone thinks, a dollar's worth is one, right? That's one, that's it. Well, according to everyone saying that, oh, well, the dollar is going to go extinct, blah, 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 it was literally worth nothing. It was worth the paper that it was printed on and the ink that went on the paper, which is literally zilch. Okay? It was really worth 0.000. Alright? That's how much it was worth. It didn't equate to anything. Now, if you had a bazillion of them, you'd be a bazillionaire, right? Right? No, doesn't work like that, bro. I'm trying to keep on track. us as America, we're becoming overpopulated, we're becoming cramped up, we're becoming, where people that do bad things, can claim welfare checks, but take away from single mothers with 2 kids, trying to put one through college, and one that has a severe disorder that can literally kill him in his sleep. That's where we're at in America right now. We literally have given up on the people who have worked so damn hard because we are afraid of other people's opinions. Voice your opinion, people. I understand a lot of you guys, when you watch this as a video, you're going to be mad at me. You're going to be like, you're fucking racist, you're this, you're this. Call me what you will. Okay, I do not care. Alright? But when it comes to what I'm saying right now, you have to understand this and look at it from my point of view, alright? I'm an 18-year-old male, alright? I'm officially of the legal age to where I can be thrown in jail. I can be charged as an adult because technically I am an adult. I can legally move out. I can legally do whatever the hell I want. But I'm trying to put myself through an education while I'm helping my mom back at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'll go to college. I'll have me a little job on the side. I don't care if I have to work at McDonald's. Ugh. I will help my mom pay the bills. I will help my mom keep the electricity on. I will help her keep on the television. I will help her keep gas in the car. I will help her do whatever I need to help her while I'm doing these 2 things. A lot of people that see me, they're like, man, you're really, you're an inspirational kid, and the people that I used to go to school with don't understand that, like, I've changed in a lot of ways. I've found God. I've found out that the world can bite you in the ass hard. I found that out at the age of 13, okay? Life is a bitch, okay? Society is a motherfucker. And Mother Nature, well, that one you have to handle all on your own. Because I'm gonna say this right now, I'm gonna get a little spiritual and realistic with you guys. For a long time, I didn't believe. I was one of those kids that was like, I need proof. Before I believe in anything. Like I believe in the universe. I believe in the stars. I believe in science. And immediately I saw this young kid today who had the same problem I did. He went through something much, much worse than I did, but at the same time we shared that connection, but he was afraid to come and talk to me because I'm a big fucking dude, alright? I may be 5'8.5", but for my size I'm a big fucking dude. And, I was like, hey man, you shake my hand, introduce yourself to me and I'll introduce myself to you, be polite. And he was like, why? I was like, man, come on now, don't be like that. I just want to shake your hand, my name's Devin, how are you today, sir? Whatever. I just want to, show this kid that everyone's not bad, and everyone that goes to the church retreat isn't bad either, and we're all family there. That's one thing that has stuck with me for ever since I went to my first one. I found out that this isn't just a bunch of strangers meeting up for no reason. This is God bringing a bunch of people together as a family, and it immediately clicked, just like that. I was like, God's put me on this earth for a mission. And that mission is to build some badass diesel trucks, have my fun, and to help others. Literally. And I've talked to my mom about this, and it's not set in stone or anything, but I want to create an MC like Big Brothers, or, go around and help, kids that are in need of a friend, and to show people that bikers aren't bad. But that's still something that's in the works, that's not set in stone yet. So just I gotta do what I need to do first. And I told my buddy that used to rodeo because he retired today, and he was like, man, that'd be a good idea. I was like, yeah, it would. It is, but it's gonna take me a while to get there. He's like, just believe. And I said, yes, sir. Like we they cook out for us. We eat. We have communion. We have communion. We have our testimony session. We have prayer. We have praise and worship time. We have all that. And it's one thing to come out as an outsider into something as big as this is and understand that, hey, we got something going on here. There's something in the works. And to finally understand that we're all the same. I'll tell you a story. When I first went there and I first met everyone, I knew my buddy that retired today, but I didn't know anyone else. And this dude comes out of nowhere, and he's with the group. He's like, man, I gotta tell you something, man. There's something about you that God keeps telling me to tell you. I'm like, okay, sure. I'm all ears, man. Go ahead and shoot the question, or that what you need to tell me. And I was really nervous. I was very, very scared. So I put a dip in. And he's like, you do tobacco, right? And I'm like, yes, sir. Is that because I pulled out the can, or is it because it's telling you that I do tobacco? And he's like, very funny, smart ass. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. That one was bad. And he's like, you're having a lot of problems, I can tell. God's told me that you're really angry with your actual biological father. I'm like, whoa, did you talk to my mom? And he's like, no, man, God sees all and he hears all. I'm like, oh. Oh, okay, oops. And he's like, what's wrong with you, man? What hurts? And I'm like, dude, I'll tell you. I'll start from the very beginning. My dad was abusive to my mom. My mom and my dad tried to reconcile after they divorced in 2003. Tried to reconcile. Little brother was born in 2004, and my dad couldn't keep a job. He would still, try and hurt my mom, and my mom told him to leave. And I don't hold anything against my mother because she did the right thing. Even though a lot of people are like, but you need your father. You need a biological father. You need a father figure in your life. And for the longest time, that's what I thought too. But I have someone up above that loves me like a son and knows all my problems, and he helps me he guides me through the problems. He helps me overcome the obstacles that I need to overcome, and he helps me achieve what I need to achieve. And my biological father, the day before I went to this communion thing, I found a picture. Well, my mom found a picture on Facebook of my biological father, his newly wedded wife, or his new wife, and his new stepson, and they're on the football field and they take a picture. And I immediately break at the inside. Like, I felt like there was just a big old piece of glass, mirror all over my body, and I felt it break. And I wanted to be mad, and I didn't want to show the emotion because I knew that if I showed the emotion, he would get that win, and I would take the L. He'd get that dub, and I'd take nothing away from it. And, I know my mom's listening because she's still up, and it clicked, and I snapped actually with my friends on, while listening. My friends were listening when I snapped, and I was like, dude, I'm pissed, I'm tired, I'm sick and tired. Why does he get to have everything good happen to him? Why can't we have something good happen to us? And man, I was bawling, I was pissed, I was shaking, I was scared. you know. I was so scared because I didn't know what to hold on to. You know, for the longest time I was one of those kids that had an anger problem, and I still kind of do, but I'm trying to work through that. I'm trying to resolve that to a simple solution instead of fixing it and making it into a bigger problem. And so anyways, we go, and he's like, you know, God said lay everything at his feet. The weight of this world's burden is not for your tiny little shoulders to bear. And by the way, my shoulders aren't small. I'm very broad-shouldered. But in the sense of me trying to carry the world's hurt and the world's anger on my shoulders is not for me to do so. He said, lay everything at God's feet. Let him take care of it. And that night, they laid me on my butt twice. You know, trying to cleanse me of the evil and bad things that I've done and everyone that I've hurt. And I immediately got up after the first one. I was like, ooh, I feel good. I feel energized. Let's go do something. And I literally ran for like an hour straight around the park. And they're like, whoa, we've never seen that happen before. And they're like, you feel good? I'm like, yeah, kind of. And they're like, we need to do it again, huh? I was like, yep, please, for the love of God. And they lay me back down, and they're praying over me, and they're speaking in tongue. And I feel this darkness, this bad juju come over my body. And they said my eyes started rolling back, and I started lifting up off the ground. And mind you, I'm around holy people all the time during this. And it was one of the craziest experiences I've had in my life. And I thank these people every day. You know, every time I see them, I'm like, man, thank you for so much for, you know, helping me with my demons. And I hope one day, you know, I get to help you through yours. And it was crazy, man. You know, it was really crazy. You know, I would normally be doing this with other people, but a lot of my friends are asleep, and I don't want to wake them. You know, I try and tell everyone this every day. You know, live by example, or live by as a leader, but follow the Father's example. And it's really stuck into my brain, and it's really pounded into my head that I was following the wrong people for the right reason, but following the right people for the wrong reason. So I was literally in a 3-lane road, taking the left way, taking the right way, and not taking straight forward. And, you know, I had an older gentleman come to me, my buddy's dad, actually. I finally got to meet him last night, and he's like, you know, man, you're 18 years old, and you're an inspiration to, you know, a 56-year-old man. And I'm like, you're 56? I thought you were like 38. And he goes, no, man, I'm 56, you know. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, I'm trying to do right by everybody, or I was trying to do right by everybody, trying to prove myself to everyone, and it got me nowhere. It got me, you know, smoking methamphetamines, getting high, skipping school, my mom knowing nothing about it, my family literally knowing nothing about my addiction, until I finally told my family at a family barbecue with every family member, friends around. And I said, guys, I have something to confess. I'm a drug addict. I want to get help. My mom started crying in tears and just bawling. My little brother's like, what? You know, like, I've been clean for almost 2 years. October 5th will officially be 2 years. And, you know, a lot of people don't understand this, but the man that's tattooed on my arm that I played football with, I went to school with. I know one person's gonna be like, no, this didn't happen. It happened. Trust me. Because I still remember it vaguely. Very, well, not vaguely, but to the T of what happened. I remember waking up, I want to end my life. I want to try this one more time. The cutting